You have questions, we have answers. This is Jane Muller.
And this is Ken Muller. Welcome to our show, all about real estate with Ken and Jane. Today we are joined with Dr. Mayor Philip Kramer of Franklin Township and also Allie O'Brien, who's the developmental director of the Franklin Township Food Bank. Welcome to our show.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yeah. So we want to talk to Allie and get into the food program, but just briefly, Mayor, please just introduce yourself and give us your bio, how long you've been the mayor of Franklin Township.
How far back do you want to go back?
Well, we can start since you can just the brief one. You're educated. I know you're a doctor. You have a doctorate in neurology, and
I got an engineering degree in aerospace engineering. I went into the Air Force. I flew B-52s. I came out. I went into med school. And from there, I became a neurologist with a subspecialty. And I got annoyed about my taxes, and I started getting involved in politics. So I got onto council, spent 6 years on council, then ran for mayor, and I've been mayor for the last 10 years.
10 years, perfect.
Wow.
Thank you. Yeah. And we're going to get into that in the next week's show. We're going to talk about all your accomplishments and how you were able to decrease taxes, which I think find that amazing.
Normally it's the best you can do is keep it.
So I got to hear.
Very rare, almost, very rare to hear decrease it. That's really amazing.
Yeah. But the mayor was very kind and contacted me before this morning's show and said, I'd like you to have somebody from the Franklin Township Food Bank come in, talk about it. We're getting near the holiday season, but also there's a lot of important things going on with the halt in food stamps. And so more than ever, we need support from the residents and, and the whole community to support the food program. So, Allie, welcome again to our show.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. This is very, very important and also appreciated. Yeah.
So let's talk about, the mayor mentioned the SNAP program, which is a type of food stamp program. What does that actually entail, and what's going on the funding level with that?
Sure. So SNAP, which is formerly known as food stamps, is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. And it essentially gives money to American families, 42 million of them, so that they can buy food every month. And in the entire history of SNAP, it's never been halted, even during a government shutdown. But that looks like what's about to happen and what's happened in the country. And the implications of that are serious because, like I said, 42 million Americans receive SNAP benefits. But in Franklin Township, we're looking at 3,600 families that receive SNAP benefits. And that represents 30% of Somerset County families that are eligible and receiving SNAP. So this does mean a shift, right, in how families are going to be able to access food. And without that many choices, and also not a lot of time to plan.
Wow.
Furthermore, it looks like WIC is going to be cut off on November 10th for an additional 250,000 residents in the state of New Jersey. And that affects single women and single mothers more than anything else. And they are the most at-risk community for food insecurity.
Yeah.
Well, just before the holiday, too, that's making it even harder for them.
Yeah, and 3,600 people is not insignificant. That's the size of some certain communities. And I know Franklin is quite large, maybe around 70,000 people, but 3,600 is significant. A dent. That's a lot of people that have food insecurity.
That's 3,600 families.
Families.
So that's about 10,000 people.
Oh, so then it's
1 out of 7 people in Franklin need of food.
Wow. Yeah. So what can we do, obviously, to help combat that? We have to, I guess, volunteering and giving back are more important than ever, or vital.
100%. Yeah. So it's important to keep hope alive. The Franklin Food Bank has been around for 50 years. We began in 1975 in the Middlebush Reformed Church, and now we are a fully fledged operation. We are distributing 3.5 million pounds of food on an annual basis. On a monthly basis, we have 1,600 visits to our choice pantry, which really, if you come and visit the Franklin Food Bank, looks just like a grocery store. We have everything from fresh produce to dry staples and frozen refrigerated meat, eggs, dairy. We even have pet food. And more important than anything else, it's a really, really great atmosphere. Our mission is to deliver these services in an atmosphere of dignity and respect. And I think that we have really been able to accomplish a lot in the past few short years in particular, but certainly over the past 5 decades. So it's really important for everyone to know that the Franklin Food Bank is here for Franklin Township residents and beyond. Through our Choice Pantry, if you're a Franklin resident, you can come up to twice a month for your food access. We're welcoming new families every day. And our address is 224 Churchill Avenue. You can call us at 732-246-0009 or visit us on the web at franklinfoodbank.org to learn more.
Okay. And if people want to drop off food, what are your hours for
Sure.
operation?
Yeah, so we're open 5 days a week through our pantry. Our food drive drop-off hours are Mondays and Thursdays from 2 to 5, Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 9 to 1. And you can always reach us through the web and learn more about the specific items that we're looking for in terms of food collections and everything like that. But it's true also that the most impactful donation that you can make to the Franklin Food Bank, especially at this time, is a financial contribution. And you can do that through our website. You can learn how to donate or mail us a check to our P.O. Box, which is 333 in Somerset, New Jersey.
To put it in perspective, this past Tuesday at the council meeting, Derek Smith, the head of the food bank, came, and the township was able to scrape up from the leftover COVID relief funds $10,000. A mosque in town provided $5,000 for a total of $15,000. But if you take the 3,600 families at $200 a family per month, that's $750,000. That's $25,000 a day. So local government can't make it up. Churches themselves can't make it up, though they will help. We need everybody.
Right. I think the mayor mentioned that I think the executive director was trying to get lobbying with the state. I guess I'm assuming there's very little the state can do probably with the funding, but but every effort to lobby on the state level, if you can get anything, it's urgent. So
Yeah, keep hope alive, right?
Yeah.
And so our executive director, who, by the way, would have loved to be here today with you, is currently at a conference speaking with other food security leaders. The Franklin Food Bank sits on multiple coalitions at the local municipal level, at the county level, at the state level, and even on the national scale. And so he is out there fighting the good fight in terms of making sure that we are appealing to all levels of leadership that's available to us right now, including Feeding America.
yeah.
Last week, a few weeks ago, our daughter went to the Iowa
for
food insecurity. In the past, you thinking that's more like outside America, international, right? Now it's so close to home.
Yeah.
It's just our neighbors. You never know, so that's really...
it doesn't have boundaries. It doesn't
Yeah.
say when you get to a certain town, there's where the food problem
Yeah.
is. It's every town.
Every
town
town,
that's
yeah.
upper middle class towns. Every town in America struggles with it. You have families that are day to
Yeah.
day. We have a lot to be thankful for, those of us that don't have that problem.
Yeah. But those like us, like a lot of people don't have the problem, should come and help out.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the
yeah.
people who does. Yeah, you never know which day you may need help. Just have to help. Yeah.
I would just like to add, this is being taped on October 30th. The SNAP runs out November 1st. Maybe things will happen that it'll get together and SNAP won't fall down. But that doesn't mean the need goes away.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just means we don't have an ultra crisis. Every day is essentially we are in a crisis. People can't get enough food to eat. That's a crisis. It's just this is a peaking crisis.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things converging at the same time right now, and it's not something that's new in the past week. We are looking at people who have gotten laid off recently from their government job. There are people who are furloughed right now during the shutdown. The private sector is bleeding jobs right now. Every month there's less and less jobs. And so, and also in a country where medical bills and healthcare bills are very expensive, just like the math is not mathing, and that leads families to make very difficult choices.
It's creating a perfect storm, which is disaster strikes. Yeah, that's sold. Let's get into what types of food you guys accept. You mentioned even in the introduction, pet food. So I want to talk about that too, because the dogs are part of families and cats are part of families.
They are.
All pets are. So that's an important element too. So if you want to expand about what types of food you guys take.
Sure. So from the community, from people like you and I, we love accepting all dry, non-perishable goods, but the things that are the most needed or the most difficult to source at the amount that we need it are box cereal, rice. Mm-hmm. We also take canned protein, and then dignity items such as diapers and feminine hygiene products and wipes and things like that. And you can find a full list on our website right now of all of the food items that are most needed, but we try to keep it short and sweet. You can't go wrong with cereal, you can't go wrong with rice, and you can't go wrong with canned protein. And if you'd like to bring pet food, we would gladly appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. And any type of dry pet food, of course, right? Is
yes,
it's always
exactly.
appreciated.
Yeah, I can see why you just mentioned the actually financial support is welcome, because, I mean, if the people like us to donate food, we normally go to the store to buy. Mm-hmm. But if we donate financially, you guys have much more buyer power with the pricing. So same thing, if I donate $20 food, you probably can go much beyond that number because you buy in bulk.
You're absolutely right.
So that's better. Just give the financial support.
That's why financial is much appreciated, I guess, from your
100%. We can turn $1 into $4 with our relationships and our operational, tactical decisions that we make. We have wonderful relationships in the community with local retailers, where we glean donations from those stores. Mm-hmm. And also, when we purchase things, to your point, we're able to get it at a much lower price.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And if somebody wants to bring a check, is that possible? Who would the check be payable to?
Franklin Food Bank.
Food Bank, okay.
Tell them to come to our door and ask for Allie.
Okay. Yeah.
Do they accept the Zelle or online? A lot of young people now, they just do online. I mean, I'm still old style. And if you don't take a credit card, I'm sorry. But my husband is the guy to go to.
I do Zelle. I don't do Venmo yet. I've never set up Venmo, but I know that's what I have I set up a PayPal account, but I really don't use it much. But I guess
we accept lots of different kinds of forms of payment on our website at franklinfoodbank.org.
And I'd like to stress, it's the Franklin Food Bank that is not a division of Franklin Township. We give money when we can. We have money that we get from the federal government every year. We give them a portion of it, but they are not funded by your taxes. They are out there by themselves.
Yeah, we are a private organization. That's true.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, it's a real struggle because even the Fed this past Thursday or this past Wednesday cut the interest rates again, and I think that's a response to the inflation being a problem and with the unemployment. So that even though I think they anticipate they have no choice but to cut it because with people losing jobs and with the inflation creeping up, it's becoming a very big problem for a lot of people to manage, to survive day-to-day food. It's such a pressing issue.
Yeah.
And food insecurity is just a symptom of other challenges that families face. And so at the Franklin Food Bank, we've actually incorporated wraparound services to wrap around our food access programs, including SNAP benefits enrollment assistance. We also are performing health screenings on a weekly basis, whether that's a blood pressure or cholesterol, A1C. We also have a monthly nurse visit where you can just go and ask the nurse questions.
Yeah, let's talk more about that. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after these messages. Stay with us. Okay, welcome back. So, Allie, let's continue talking about the Franklin Township Food Bank, which is, I guess, a 501c nonprofit organization. It's nothing to do with the township other than you're located at 224 Churchill Avenue, right?
Yep.
And once again, please give your website and your phone number for our listeners out there that want to make a donation or drop off some vitally needed food.
Sure. Our website is franklinfoodbank.org. You can reach us at 732-246-0009. And our address is 224 Churchill Ave in Somerset, New Jersey.
I just have a quick question. You mentioned for the Franklin Township resident, they can go to the food bank twice a month, right?
Yes.
But is there a limit how much they can take? Because I mean, like if I go to the supermarket, normally we have a mind how much we're going to spend, right? So we can't take everything off the shelf. We have to see, I plan to spend this amount. So I have to balance in my head which one I have to have, which one I can, maybe later. So how's that work with people go to the food bank?
Sure, that's a great question. So there's a lot of different ways to design a choice program. The way that we have designed ours is we look at the household size. So if you are a 4-person household, you get 400 points per month. You can use those points throughout the month in the visits that you have scheduled. And in our market, we have different items that have different points associated with them. And the points are then used like dollars in the market. We have a tracking system, a POS system called Pantry Soft, which is an industry standard for choice pantries to use. And that's how the families that come to us are able to keep track of the points that they are shopping with through our market. We have cashiers who perform checkout at the end, just like a real grocery store. And that is the design model for that program. And through that program, we're able to serve Franklin Township residents, but we also serve beyond the borders of Franklin Township in a number of different ways. One of them is our community distribution program, which is a fresh produce distribution drive-through model that we do in partnership with a local church, First Baptist Lincoln Gardens, and the Franklin Township Police Department and the Greater Somerset YMCA. And that program, anybody can come to. You can drive through, you can walk up. And then we also serve other organizations through our Beyond Borders programs that are doing the type of work that we're doing in their communities and are having trouble sourcing or accessing enough food to be able to distribute to the families that they know who are struggling.
The point system you mentioned, is that most food bank use similar system, or that's a choice of individual food bank to join?
There's a lot of different ways to deliver a choice program. I've seen one pantry that is up in Patterson, a friend of ours, Kumac. They have sort of a fixed selection of items in the beginning, and then they have another choice area of their pantry. So it's all choice, but in the beginning, it's kind of like a shorter list, and then in the end, where they go shopping, they can select whatever is available. There are different pantries throughout the country that are delivering choice through sort of a set selection, a number of things. We've made the decision to use a point system because of the wide variety of items that we offer at the food bank and the ever-changing type of foods that we're getting based on our food recovery program, where we recover food from local retailers. So it's a fast-changing in terms of the category and the type of specific food. And that's why we've made the tactical decision that we have in our points program.
I think this is very, a good, very smart program because easy to manage. Like you said, you have a different food come in, right? Item category. Irene,
You have a software program.
So that's easier. You just assign this is 1 point, this is a 3 point, that's a 2.5. So that's easier. You don't have to change anything. You just make sure whatever come in, you give the right point.
Exactly.
So that's really good.
And I should.
Based on I'm sorry. Is it based on the family size? Like if you have a family of six or 8, then obviously they would be entitled to more points.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's sort of one of the ways that it fluctuates, and that we have as much equity as possible in the market. And I should mention also that there are many items in the market that don't have any points associated with them. One of the items that will never have any points associated with it is fresh produce. We love to incentivize fresh produce. One of our goals in our strategic plan is nutrition. It has to be the umbrella under which choices are made at the Franklin Food Bank. Too often in food security organizations and in the mindset of what a food security organization is and what it needs, less nutritious foods are prioritized or given. And so we try to incentivize and prioritize nutrition at every possible turn. And one way is by associating 0 points with those items.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, that encourages, absolutely. And you mentioned in addition to all these food services, you also provide services like health checks, health screenings, and is that at jeopardy with the cuts, or how are you guys funding those services internally or through donations as well?
Yeah, that's a great question. Our wraparound services are primarily and almost entirely delivered through strategic partnerships with local organizations. So anything from substance abuse prevention and Narcan distribution through our friends at Community in Crisis, all the way to Robert Wood Johnson and St. Peter's and Zufall Health delivering health screenings. We have a bank delivering financial literacy workshops. We have different rotating facilitators delivering nutrition workshops and hands-on cooking demonstrations with samples and produce distribution at the end of those. It's really important when you're looking at the problem of food insecurity to understand that it doesn't exist in a vacuum. Food insecurity is a symptom of other challenges that families struggle with every day. And so when you're a trusted institution in the community like the Franklin Food Bank is and has been for many years, people are going to come to you and say, hey, can you help me find a job? Can you help me with rent or housing or utilities? We also have a case manager who's there 25 hours a week, a social worker, delivering case management and resource navigation. Because sometimes applying for some of these programs or figuring out how to fix some of these complex issues, it's really hard to do alone. And it's a challenge on an emotional level and a logistical level. So we've incorporated, through a partnership with the Somerset County, we've incorporated a MSW to our program who's there during market hours for all of our neighbors to speak with about the many other offerings that we have. And right now, we're prioritizing mental health as much as we can. So we also are dialing up our wraparound services through this crisis and beyond.
And the mental health becomes such important. It used to be, you hear that is people don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And mental health is not only limited to adults, it's the children too.
Children is quite prevalent among children in the school system.
Yeah.
Bullying is a thing with the zero tolerance, and because we all live, a lot of the communities are diversified, so people have to respect and all the different cultures, and so.
And also for the kids, right? The exam pressure, that's another thing. A lot of kids have a lot of pressure at school, homework and everything. Yeah. So mental health absolutely is very important. Yeah.
I'm really glad you brought up schools because that's another
supplemental one, right? The schools, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different ways to help schools. Franklin Township has 10 incredible schools and a wonderful district leading the charge of our school system. And the Franklin Food Bank supports those schools through satellite pantries. We started this work about 2 years ago, and now we have satellite pantries stationed in every school in Franklin Township, delivering food to those children who have self-identified or self-reported that they didn't eat dinner the night before or breakfast the morning of. And through that, we have two different types of bags. One we call a go bag for immediate sustenance. And then the other one we call a weekender bag, because if a child in school is struggling with food insecurity, there's probably food insecurity in the house. And in every weekender bag is information that's bilingual English and Spanish information that connects them back to the Franklin Food Bank for more comprehensive assistance until they can get back on their feet.
Yeah,
wow, that's really good. Amazing.
Yeah, that's really needed. How big a source are the local supermarkets? I know that where we live, they play a role, and I don't know if Can you rely on them on like a regular basis? Do you have an agreement with them that they're going to supply X amount of food every month or so? Do they?
Yeah, I wouldn't say like it's not like a contract or anything
Right.
like that, but it's a relationship that we have with, you name it, we go there. So all of these different places, I'm not going to name them because I'm not going to,
Yeah.
there's too many to name. I don't want to
Sure, you wanna miss
prioritize.
any.
But basically, we go out to over 30 different retailers every single day, Monday through Friday. We're going out up to 8 different places every single day. It's called food recovery. It's essentially a grocery store or a retailer doesn't have the space to hold the items. Maybe the items are at the end of life, right? They have 5 days or so, maybe more, before their best by date is approaching. And we can take that food and get it out into the community immediately because we're just a little bit faster. And so through that, we're on track to recover almost 2 million pounds of food this year. We also love the fact that we're coming into the cycle of food waste and hopefully preventing some of the 92 billion pounds of food that's wasted nationally every single year. And also, maybe most importantly, the recovery of local food that you see in the grocery store shelves means that at the Franklin Food Bank, we have government food next to brand name food. And so it just helps to chip away at the stigma associated with food assistance, because when you're going into a grocery store, we want it to feel the same as when you're coming to our market.
Sure. Yeah. And we mentioned we were going to talk about the pet food that's there too. So obviously families, they have pets too, and the pets need to eat, and they have their dog food. So there's an opportunity for pet owners to have their dogs and cats and other.
Yeah, our
animals fed.
neighbors have reported to us that they would not eat dinner, maybe, so that their pets could eat. Pets are family, and for any family that's struggling with anything, a pet is such an emotional resource.
Yes.
There's nothing that loves you more in the world than a dog.
Yep.
And it's such a popular thing now with the pets are actually emotionally support and, and service animals. Yeah, but we see a lot in the real estate field, a lot of the applications for rentals, they have an emotionally support animal that's, documented because they provide such a great bond with their family.
Yeah, so we've prioritized always having pet food on our shelves in the market.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, back when our daughter was younger, when she was younger, she refused to do the extra, study, and she think the school is enough. When she got into 6th grade, as an eye-opener, she got into honor, obviously, and then she said, I never learned that before. The teacher said, well, if you go to regular class, you will learn that. This is the honor class. So she was a little bit, pressure. She came to us, actually, at that young age and said, Mommy, did you heard about the therapy dog? We already have 2 dogs from the shelter, the big ones. But she asked us whether she can have a small one she can hold.
Aww.
So we did. Yeah. And she found the dog online. So applied herself. So we went to North Jersey with the 2 big dogs, had an interview.
Make sure they all got along.
They'll get along. So,
so.
So for her, I can understand how important, the pet, to the kid. And I had another scenario. The family came because they are both working. So they have a young child, and then they have to send back home to China when the child came here back, like a teenager. The English is not there, no friend, very lonely. So they want a small dog, a pet. And the association doesn't allow. I really have to forward all the way to the township.
Wow.
And the pediatrician wrote a recommendation letter. That's a mental health. I forward all the way to the township, back to the association, got the little kid a dog. So that means a lot. And that kid, one day I saw her hold a dog walking. It's really cool. Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah, it's important to just try to be as holistic, like with the WH, as possible when you're designing what your nonprofit programs are going to be and services, because you have to be able to address the whole person when you're addressing something that's complex.
Yeah, I learned something that your food bank is much more than the important service of providing food. It also provides the mental, the emotional support, the social worker, so pet support.
The whole package.
The whole package, like you said, it's critical to the well-being.
Yes.
We're just about out of time. So, Allie, once again, please give your contact information, the phone number, and the website for anybody that would like to make a donation to this all-important cause.
Thank you so much again for having me. We are the Franklin Food Bank, www.franklinfoodbank.org. Our phone number is 732-246-0009.
Great. All right, guys, get out there, make a donation. A monetary donation is always much appreciated because they can use that money and multiply it for the purchase of food. Allie, thank you so much for being our guest, and also to Mayor Kramer. We'll be back next week with another interview with Mayor Kramer. So we'll see you then. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.